So here I am doing these notes again for 2-2 because for some reason the first time I did them, the volume wasn't working. I don't know. What is up with that? Annoying, totally. So notes for 2-2, adding and subtracting rationals. And the first thing we're going to start with is talking about what that rational number is, or reviewing that, because that definition is so very, very, very important. So remember that a rational number is just any number that can be written as a fraction, including those whole numbers and decimals, well, certain kinds of decimals, and so on. So really, when we're talking about adding and subtracting rationals, we're really just talking about adding and subtracting fractions. So you might remember from our Unit 0 on review of fractions that when you're adding and subtracting fractions, the very, very first thing that you need to start with is getting those common denominators. Common denominators, first thing that you want to start with. Now, this is also, we're going to kind of take these Unit 1 and Unit 0 and kind of smush them together here because we're going to use those fraction rules that you know from previous grades. But then we're also going to take those integer rules from that Unit 1 that we did and use them here with fractions too, because those integer rules don't just apply to positive and negative whole numbers. They apply to all numbers that we deal with, all numbers. So let's take a quick second and review some of those integer rules so they're fresh in your mind. So for the first one, when you're subtracting, you're doing that add the opposite piece, keeping that first number, changing the subtraction to addition, and then taking the opposite of the second number. So for example, if I have negative 2 minus 4, keep that first number, change the subtraction to addition, and the opposite of a positive 4 is a negative 4. Then I can use my adding rules. When they have same signs, I add and keep the sign. So here I have a negative 2 plus a negative 4. Add 4 plus 2 is 6. Keep the sign is a negative. Now that's a little bit different from when you have different signs. Different signs would be something like if I had, let's say, negative 2 plus 4. Negative 2 plus 4, I am adding, so I don't need to rewrite it, but I have different signs. So I subtract and keep the sign of the quote-unquote larger. So 4 subtract 2 is 2, and I have more positives here, so it's a positive 2. So make sure you are using those integer rules and checking yourself in the calculator for the little math.